All right, everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and Ubisoft cannot keep themselves out of hot water with their latest Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's cue up the music and talk about the latest drama. It looks like the Japanese shrine depicted in the game demands its removal from Assassin's Creed Shadows after Ubisoft depicts its destruction. We saw this a few weeks back in some gameplay that was released, where I think it was Yasuke himself, the big black samurai, the biggest, baddest samurai in the history of all of Japan, went in there and tore that place up, if you remember correctly. Ubisoft's landed in yet another controversy as Itate Hayozu Jinja Shrine in Japan, pardon me if I got that name wrong, has formally requested the removal of its sacred site from Assassin's Creed Shadows. The demand comes after recently released gameplay footage revealed that the game allows players to enter the shrine, an active place of worship, and destroy its interior, including smashing items and even demolishing the temple's altar. A little tone deaf there, guys. Now, we've seen a slew of horrible things with this game. Not just horrible things, but a lot of missteps, a lot of really tone deaf, and they said they consulted with experts when they put this game out, and they obviously didn't. I mean, they did too, right? Thomas Lockley, who created Yasuke's legendary status as a samurai, which he wasn't, and then some weird lady who wrote a thesis, I guess, about gay monks and their relationship with boys back in the day. That's their level of expertise. Everything else, I think they just made up on the fly, and yeah. Mark Kern, Grum's former World of Warcraft lead. Okay. Anyway, he relayed the reaction of those connected to the shrine. His local source confirms the Itate Hayozu Jinja Shrine in Japan has filed a formal request to Ubisoft asking them to remove the entire religious site from Assassin's Creed Shadows. His source tells him the temple leaders are very upset at the use of their shrine and the ability to destroy its interior. This latest blunder adds to the growing list of cultural missteps that have plagued Shadows since its announcement. Ubisoft has repeatedly claimed to have conducted extensive research on Japanese culture and history, hiring so-called experts to ensure authenticity, yet the company has demonstrated a pattern of tone-deaf decisions that have infuriated both Japanese audiences and longtime fans of the Assassin's Creed franchise. The Itate Hayozu Jinja controversy isn't an isolated incident. Ubisoft faced widespread backlash for numerous inaccuracies and disrespectful depictions of Japanese culture in Shadows. One major issue stemmed from a collector's statue included in the game's special edition, which featured a destroyed torii gate. Fans quickly pointed out that the broken gate bore an unsettling resemblance to the famous photograph of the torii gate left standing in Hiroshima after the atomic bombing in 1945. I think that was Nagasaki, actually, if memory serves me correctly. I think you had a little error there, guys. Nagasaki, not Hiroshima. Anyway, the resemblance, that's beside the point, but the resemblance was so striking that many accused Ubisoft of either intentionally referencing the devastation of Hiroshima or at the very least being grossly negligent in their design choices. I'm going to go with B on that one. I don't think they would do that on purpose. I mean, they're stupid. I think they're just stupid. I don't think they're cruel. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt there. Anyway, the backlash was immediate, with many calling the design deeply inappropriate and offensive, especially given Japan's sensitivity to its wartime history. Faced with mounting criticism, Ubisoft quietly removed the statue from its promotional materials and ultimately decided to scrap it entirely from the collector's edition. However, the damage had already been done, further reinforcing the perception that Ubisoft lacked the cultural awareness necessary to handle a game set in Japan. Another recent scandal involved the unauthorized use of the Sekigahara Teppo Corps banner in the official Assassin's Creed Shadows art. The symbol belonging to a real and still active historical organization was used without permission. This led to demands for Ubisoft to remove it from promotional materials, and the company was forced to apologize and remove the banner from promotional materials. However, It's still featured in the game's official art book. Here it is. In the game, here it is in real life. It's funny because, they probably took it out of the game too, but the art book's already done, I'm sure. So it's going to remain in there no matter what. They're not going to redo the whole art book for this. But this is something modern. They're just stealing assets and all that. This is laziness. This is DEI at work. Ubisoft practices DEI in their hiring. It's not even in the game itself so much as it's in the culture of the company. They're not hiring the best of the best. They're hiring based on gender, color, whatever else, the perceived sexuality of these people. They're not hiring on merit, so they're not getting the best of the best. They're checking off boxes, so yeah, they can feel good about that in the HR department and, and looking at their ESG scores. But when they're putting together a project like this and looking for historical accuracy, and I understand it's a video game and, there's going to be some play in all that, but this just shows laziness on the part of these developers. It shows that they're not committed to their job. They're just, they're doing whatever. They're stealing assets. They're not researching what they're doing. The Torii Gate's an example of that. I think there was some Chinese architecture in the game as well. The Chinese, Japanese, same thing, Come on, guys. You got to be better than that. How hard is it, to do a little bit of research? And I believe Ubisoft has a Japanese studio. They could have. Why aren't these guys working on it? For real. Anyway, additionally, Ubisoft's choice to center the game around Yusuke, of course, has been a source of ongoing controversy. While Yusuke was a historical figure, his actual role in Japanese history remains unclear. Unlike previous Assassin's Creed games where historical figures were NPCs providing context and missions, Shadows makes Yusuke the primary playable protagonist, sidelining traditional Japanese male figures in favor of a narrative that many feel is manufactured to fit modern ideological trends rather than historical reality. Now, this isn't the first time Ubisoft has shown disregard for religious landmarks. One of the most infamous examples comes from Assassin's Creed 2, where the final mission involves breaking into the Vatican and physically assaulting the Pope. While this was played off as part of the franchise's historical fiction, it set a precedent for Ubisoft's willingness to depict real-world religious sites in a way that many would find offensive. Now, with Shadows, Ubisoft is facing similar backlash from Japan, a country that takes its cultural heritage seriously. The destruction of a real, still functioning Shinto shrine crosses a line that many believe should never have been approached in the first place. With the Itate Hayuzu Jinja Shrine formally requesting its removal from Assassin's Creed Shadows, the question remains, will Ubisoft comply, or will it ignore yet another legitimate grievance from the very culture it claims to respect? Given the company's track record and the game's rapidly approaching release date, skepticism is warranted. I have a feeling that is going to stay in the game. We're kind of at the wire now, right? This game's coming out next month on the anniversary of the worst domestic terror attack in the history of Japan was the sarin gas attacks in Japan's subways or trains or whatever. Ironically, there's another misstep there, Ubisoft just can't get it right, but I think it's way too late in the game's development to pull that out of there. I mean, I guess they could shut off that part of the map, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how this works, behind the scenes. I'm not a developer. Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. Maybe it's only available after a certain portion of the game. If it's later in the game, maybe they have an opportunity to fix it post-launch. Who knows? But in addition to Yusuke, the other character is a female character, and I have a strong feeling this female character is going to be either A, non-binary, B, a lesbian. It's just a gut feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes out. But I just have that feeling that they're going to make her that way. This is, I think Ubisoft's going for broke with this game. And, they're just going to pull out all the stops for the ESG score on this one. Well, the latest controversy only deepens the ongoing backlash against Assassin's Creed Shadows between repeated delays, historical inaccuracies, a release date coinciding narratives with the anniversary of a horrific domestic attack, and now the depiction of real-life religious vandalism. Ubisoft is rapidly alienating both fans and the people of Japan. If the company truly wants to prove it respects the culture it's attempting to depict, removing the shrine should be the bare minimum step it takes. What do you guys think? You think it's going to remove the shrine? Like I said, I don't. I have zero faith that they're going to do that, especially this late in the project. A few months back, maybe they could have replaced it with something else. I don't know. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.